Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis. Up top with me today, we have Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. You know, we had our Survivor trivia earlier with Reality Pop, and that was awesome. I did really well. Lasted one round.
You didn't even last the one round.
I didn't. I got to the end and got 0 points, but you know, it was fun to play. And yeah, this episode was twists and turns. It had my emotions going, but also so many lulls in this episode. So
absolutely. And Fanta's here as well. How are you doing tonight, Fanta?
I'm so good. I think this is like my favorite episode.
Ooh, it's a good one.
It was really good.
Why is it your favorite, Fanta? Not saying that it shouldn't be, but I want to know why.
There's just so much that happened. Like I had like a lot of audible reactions to this episode. Like I really enjoyed myself watching this. Like it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, I will explain more as we progress.
Sure. Well, like me too. I don't know if it's just because they're OGs and I love them and it's nostalgic, blah, blah, blah. But I'm always just like, I'm like, oh man, I wish I was binge watching this. Like, I want to watch another episode. Like, I'm just like, I want to watch another episode. And I'm really kind of like a little bit uneasy and upset that we're over the halfway point and there's only, I think, 4 episodes left. Like,
yeah, but you know what? It's perfect because it leaves us wanting more, which is what we need because they're going to do more of this. And if they stretched it out too long, people will be like, oh, that was great. I got my fix. But this is not going to be enough for our fix. We're going to need that next All-Stars moment. And I think that this episode really had, once again, everything we needed. Hookups, whoa, craziness, some like aggression, a challenge that was like a mini final sort of vibe, which we always love those. And just, yeah, some ferocity from people that I was impressed by. And some, I don't know, I loved it all. They're so good at confessionals too, all of them. Love them all.
That's what it is. Because remember, we were so annoyed with Casey because we're just like, is she coming on? Is she on this season? Or I think I don't know if it was last season or the season before. So Total Madness. Like, we're like, is Casey ever going to have a confessional? Like, she's boring. Like, these people are all interesting. And I'm always like, man, I wish that we had more time just so like more people can get more confessionals. I can see more of what these crazy people are doing that I love so much. So this episode's called Nothing But an OG Thing, which I was like, that's cute. I like that. Someone, went to my heart with their episode titling this one. I didn't understand though so you know how at the beginning of every episode they have like previously on and they do like a little skit. Like we saw one time it was Tech and Ruthie jumping into the lake naked. Well, this time it was Beth standing holding fake lashes and Arissa goes and takes the lashes and Jemmye pulls off the fake lashes off of Beth's eye and they're saying somebody lashed out.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make a bit. And
I know, I get that they're making a bit, but
it just didn't land. Like it didn't
what it felt like to me was that they were stoned and they're like, oh my god, guys, like we gotta do this. We gotta do this.
Yeah, I think that what happens with those is that like production is just like for every single person, they're like, we just need a bunch of these. Like just together and do it. And those lashes, that's actually Beth's lash company.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool.
She has a lash company. I forgot.
Look at you with the knowledge there, Fanta. What are you holding back from us for, huh?
Screen time has been up 145% this week on my phone. So I just want to share everything that I learned.
Also, can you imagine? So like doing a challenge trivia, just because we've been talking about this. I have a question being like, what is Beth's eyelash company?
What is it?
I don't know. I'm just saying that could be a great question for challenge.
I don't know what it is. I just know she has one.
Well, I wonder if she was actually holding her own.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. Did you guys watch the whole thing of the after show or not yet? I always I started and then I'm always doing something else and I never finish it before we go live. I'm like, I should have just done it right after we did our trivia thing, but I forgot. But I did learn a few things about it that I will bring up later, actually. So I thought it was hilarious, the start of the episode, where there's like dominating performance, excellent, amazing, and they're just kind of like giving Beth some lulz fake props or whatever. But Beth was kind of feeling a little bit upset, kind of apprehensive about like her win, not feeling really comfortable with it. What do you think was going on with Beth there? I mean, I have my own ideas, but what do you guys think?
I mean, I think that she was just like, she saw the challenge. She saw it was something that was mainly strength and that kind of related. And she thought, okay, I've prepared myself. She knew she was going in. She got herself to that point. And then to have it end the way it did, I feel like she sort of felt like, oh, the blame's on me because I intimidated her. And Beth's experience in the challenge has always been girls being like, you're the worst. You're a bully. We hate you. You're so awful to all of us. And so I think she has that a little bit of like, am I? Like, what am I doing? I'm literally just trying to compete. She's had nothing but a positive attitude this season. Like, she's trying to have a good time. She's like 50 years old. And so I think she just felt a little bit like, uh-oh, I hope I wasn't,
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I mean, that's the thing that's like an interesting theme of this episode as well, where they like keep bringing up the past and saying the past never dies and like things like that. And it's true. Like all of these relationships, like you can really see like the wounds are reopening with all of these people and things are coming up. And you would think, oh, it's just like their adult summer camp reunion. But there are a lot of things that a lot of these people are still very hurt by or affected.
Yeah. 100%. I didn't really necessarily think about it, her opening up an old wound, but I was also thinking about the fact that like there was no conclusion that was satisfying. So she's also having like survivor's guilt, why did she quit? Like, I didn't compete, like I didn't do anything, like why am I get to be here and she didn't? Like, she probably doesn't feel like it's deserved fully. And then I also think that she feels as though she did this to Marissa because she did call her in without her really even knowing. And so I do think that she does feel guilty about that. But I was just happy with Darrell being like, people don't feel like this all the time. Like, don't worry about it. Like, we're happy she's gone and she doesn't want to be here to compete. Like, good riddance. Like, take
he has
the win.
The best attitude. And even like thinking about the reunion part 1 where we saw him for one line and all he says is like, yeah, no, I didn't trust Big Brother. Like, whatever. Like, he's just such a realist. He's like, play the game, play hard. I have respect for this person. I don't respect that. Whatever, you're gone, it's fine. Oh, these men are going to climb on the things like when Elton is like climbing on the, what foreshadowing, by the way, lol. But him climbing that thing and him just being like, yeah, whatever, hurt yourself. I don't care. Like, I'm like, that's Darrell.
No, he's just like, Darrell's just always about the money. Like he never, every 24/7, there's never a second where he's not thinking about the money. He's like, yeah, like, okay, I'm trying to win this money. Like that's his tagline of every confessional. It's so funny.
Now, Dad, Michelle, you had to pick up Uninvited, played by Alanis Morissette during like that whole.
Oh my God. I was living. I was like, Alanis, the emotion. Oh, it was so perfect. It was so perfect.
I did another podcast about the Challenge All Stars, and like people in the chat were like, oh my God, I downloaded Uninvited. I was listening to it after the episode. I'm like, I might need to do that because it was really like, it really took you in there for that moment, but also hilarious. So speaking of foreshadowing, they started, showing Cyrus and Beth and talking about like, I need you here, you got to be here, and like talking about the relationship, like friendship relationship and whatnot. Cyrus is talking about how he feels like he went left like a sucker in the ruins. He was on the fire escape thing and he couldn't seem to like unhook something to even get started. So he got demolished before he even could compete. And so he kind of wants to have some sort of redemption. So I'm like, okay, so it is a men's elimination. I'm sure that Cyrus is going to be going in and separating Beth and Cyrus. Like that's what I was thinking was going to be going on here. I didn't know that Cyrus had a girlfriend. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was that. I was going to agree with you.
Fiance. Sorry, fiance. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Happy for him.
Yeah, I want to know more.
That setup it was very clear he was going to be going in, but I honestly thought it was a lead up. This whole episode, I was like, oh, he's going to cause an upset and win this elimination. I just thought that whatever was going to happen, he was going to win. I don't know why I had this in my head, but for some reason I was just like, okay, like it's going to see me as his ankle's hurt. He's already kind of not in a great position. I feel like they're making it seem like he's going to go home and then it's going to be a flip because he does have this confidence. He's never going to quit, which he didn't. And so I was very surprised.
I have a theory about that, but when we get later on the episode, I'll lay it out. What are you going to say, Fanta?
I thought that until some stuff started to happen with
Okay, yeah, we're probably on the same page.
Okay.
I think we're on the same page here. So this is right after this. It's right at the beginning. We see Derek trying to climb the column. I don't know why Derek's trying to climb the column. And then Spider-Man Alton is just like boop, 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 like up the brick column. Like how is he doing that? I actually don't understand.
This is men shit.
Okay.
I would say it's boy shit, but
yeah, sorry, it's boy shit.
Like I've never had the urge to try and climb a column. Have you guys either of you been rock climbing it before?
Yeah, and I hurt myself.
Oh no. Have you, Fanta? I feel like that might be something that you've tried before.
Yeah, I've done like very like light bouldering, nothing like super intense.
Sorry, what do you mean by light bouldering? Sorry, that's terminology that's a little bit too advanced here.
Like bouldering, like just like small little boulders that you just.
Oh, I'm thinking like inside a gym on a wall, but you're actually talking about being outside.
I've done that too, but I just don't. I don't know. I guess I didn't consider that to be like very intense.
Okay, but anyways, the most I've done, I think I've told you both before, is I climbed the Chief one, and I was winded like nobody's business. And like, the Chief is a mountain that's not really that high revered or regarded in BC. It's not like the grouse grind, and it's not like it's like the easy mountain to climb. And I was like, don't talk to me, leave me. Like I would be so miserable on a final. I would do it, but like I'd be so miserable. But I don't think I'll be scaling like, Tom Cruise, like scaling any cliffs. No, that's definitely not me. And I guess it is a boy thing because like I've never really had the urge to do that. People are like, you rock climbing. I'm like, I'm not sure. Like maybe not. Why? So it was cute though, seeing that like Alton gets in this like childlike kind of energy. Like I do love that about him. And I'm reminded like that's kind of the thing that I liked about him before is that he's just so like good vibes. He's a good vibe person, Just like So a little more foreshadowing happening here with Gisela having a little lack of memory of Alton in the past, because they did do the Gauntlet 2 together in 2005. So they haven't really been around each other in 16 years. But she's just like looking at him, oh, he's just great at everything. And she's starting to show a little more of her heart eye flutters for Alton. I know we stan it, but like, let's talk a little bit about how much we stan this budding relationship.
I mean, I have questions, okay? Because it's clear, as we saw, that they're hooking up. And like we see them under the blanket. So whoever has Alton, whoever has Gisela, 5 points apiece for sure. But also, so like she's very open in her confessionals being like, I'm attracted to him. This is very attractive to me. Like there's an attraction between us. She says this, she says this, she says this, right? She's very open about it, right? And Alton similarly like says some things about her, whatever. But then when they're talking in the bedroom, he asks her if she's like into him or something. And she says like, I'm not supposed to be into you.
Yeah. She's like,
so is she, because I heard Nehemiah say on a live that there's a hookup in the All-Stars where there's like issues with things at home. So did she have a partner at home, or like, does anyone know the tea? Did he, or is it going to be maybe another hookup?
I'm thinking it might be another hookup. I don't actually know, but this is, it's at the end of the episode. We see like the previews for the rest of the season. Who the heck is that? Okay, Go.
I looked back and I watched it 3 times.
Me too.
And I'm pretty sure
Laterrian?
it's Anissa and Laterrian.
That's who my
Because
thought
at
was.
first I was like, is it Alton with Anissa? That makes no sense. And then I went back again and I was like, it's definitely Anissa. And then I went back again. I was like, that's Laterrian. Because it's not Darrell.
No. I mean, maybe it was because remember we see that like whole like weird altercation thing.
Yeah,
Like
that could be. It could be Darrell, but from the angle, it looked like Laterrian.
more of a round face.
And
Yeah.
And Laterrian's married.
Is he?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like maybe it's Laterrian that has somebody else because that's another hookup that we saw a little clip from that we don't know necessarily the stats of, you know, the relationship status of these people. So I think that she was saying that about Alton was flirty and kind of like, I'm not supposed to like you. Like, you know, you're on a challenge together. Like, this doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? I think it was more flirty. That's my vibe of it. Especially because she talks about how she didn't notice him before. And I think the reason why she didn't notice him before is he must have been with Irulan at that point. And when he was with her, like it was a vault. So, like there was nobody coming for, like he was definitely a taken man when they were together. So I think that she.
Second, was that season with Robin? Was Robin? No, not Robin. Was Jody in that one? Because he had just broken up. Oh, I can't remember which one it was, but there was one season where I think it was that one where he and Arlen had just broken up. Mm-hmm. And then, Mark and Jody had broken up before the challenge, and Mark and Robin were hooking up, and Jody was really jealous. And then Jody and Alton like started like casually like hooking up and stuff.
I need to watch that again.
All of that. But I also thought, you know, Gisela was barely on that season. She got eliminated very early on. So that's probably also why she doesn't really remember him, because she didn't really have a time to get to know like everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That was
the Gauntlet 2?
That was the season.
Gauntlet 2.
Because that one was like the rookies and vets.
No, it couldn't have been because Mark isn't on it. So for the Gauntlet 2 is Alton, Ibis, Jamie, Jody, Keena, Landon, MJ, Randy, and Susie. Sorry, that's not the whole cast. Never mind. That was just the winners. Mark is on it. So is Robin.
Thank you. Thank you.
And do they confirm that they just broke up? Hold on. No, they don't.
Yes.
Should we find out though?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Should we look up Laterrian though to see if Laterrian is married?
I mean, if he was
scared to look it up.
How will I find out though? Would it say? I guess maybe. I don't think he's on Wiki. Okay. Well, we'll see if it happens. Favorite part of the episode, I think, was when they all walk over to the challenge side to be told what the daily is going to be, and TJ's like, "What's the matter, Jemmye?" And like so concerned about Jemmye, and like she just has her mean mugging game face on, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you were mad," and I was like, it was just like too fresh. Like it was such a cute moment. I loved it.
I really love that because like he would never do that in regular season. He would never, ever, ever do that in regular season. Like, dude is so happy to be there.
That's one of the best parts about watching is how much fun that TJ is having. Like, honestly, it's great.
Jemmy's just like, I'm in the song. I'm in the zone. Sorry. Like, you guys I love it. I just love it so much. He's so happy. Like, he loves these people so much. He's so invested in like what's going on. And I think that's why he said that to Arissa last week, was just like, you know, I know he didn't know all the other things that were going on in the house and with her food, all that stuff. So he wasn't aware of that. But like, he really just wants people that want to be there and compete and be part of this game that he's so obsessed with. And if she doesn't want to be on that journey, even for him, like he's not his people, you know?
Yeah.
He's not. So, okay, so they're basically playing Connect 'em All. It's going to be a mini final. They're going to be in teams of 6 to start off, where they have to solve a math puzzle that gives them words or like sentences that they have to fill out. I thought this was pretty easy, and I was pretty surprised that, yes, the math champion did not get all these simple multiplications to get the correct.
Yes. Okay.
solve.
But beyond that, can we talk about how, sorry, I had to take a moment because I was reading the comment. Can we talk about how, once again, Jemmye, Beth, and Cyrus are all on the same team? And then once again, Kendall and Hisela were also on the same team? So I don't know. I was a little confused about that. The way they're breaking up the teams, once again. That said, they weren't all the exact same teams, but there's still these weird similarities. I'm like, why are Jemmye and Beth and Cyrus all together again? Seems weird. to me. But you know what? Whatever. It was still in the end. In the end, it's individual. Like once you, or kind of pairs, because once they got to the puzzle part of it where it was in pairs, everyone was there. Like even the last team got there. So once you get to the puzzle, it's kind of like, okay, if you can figure out a puzzle, you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first stage was figure out the phrase that, from solving these mini equations that matched up with the letter. Pretty easy, but like it could be time consuming. Who's this? Who's this? Here to lurk. Who are you, Pyro Jennifer? Is it? No, I don't know. I'm not sure who it is. Lurk, just lurk away.
We love the
And
lurkers.
hi, Sam. We will come back to this probably, but what do you guys think of TJ taking easier on others? Fessy didn't even want to eat, but TJ didn't go in as hard as he did for Arissa. So you guys, I can't remember exactly what your argument was saying about this, but what did you really think, though, about how he handled Fessy not eating in the final?
Well, I think that to me personally, I took it as just like, like I don't even care to give you my energy. Like you're just so like, ugh. Like I feel like that was kind of what it was. And in a way, TJ will kind of match your energy. And like Arissa came in so hot, he's going to be like, hey, fine, see you never in the moment, because he's making a good scene. It's good TV. It's a good thing. With Fessy, it's not a good shtick. Like if he was going to be like, why aren't you eating? And then Fessy's just going to be a little bitch about it. Like that's not entertaining.
I agree
Fair.
completely. I think, I mean, obviously, like at this point, TJ's a pretty good judge of all of the competitors. And frankly, I just don't think he likes or respects Fessy very much. I think that he does have a certain amount of respect for all of the all-stars that are there. And I think that, yeah, it's an energy match sort of thing. Like when Arissa was doing that, it's just kind of like, what the hell? Like, we're all friends.
I feel that.
You know?
I feel that. And Fessy doesn't like he doesn't want to maybe put in that much energy because Fessy doesn't really care. You know what I mean? Like Fessy doesn't really care about the challenge the way that he does. So why is he going to be like trying to hype him up and try to chirp him into going in and like participating? It's like, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here. Yeah. I mean, I support whatever TJ does, but I was surprised though with how he handled it, but it does make sense. I'll just put this up. Pyro Jennifer, I've not seen the challenge this season, but I have to support the icon Chantel. Yes, I was playing Settlers of Catan online a couple days ago, and so Pyro Jennifer, who used to be, as she says, Raven's cooking, and so she was watching us play. Let's see, family game night. So fun. So if you guys play Catan, like I actually love Settlers of Catan, and so if you ever want to play online,
I enjoy it, but I'm terrible. So
yeah, same.
how terrible! I mean, it's terrible. How can you be that?
You'd be surprised.
It depends. I think sometimes I either do like I either almost win or I lose poorly.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I played quite a few games in this last year. I became like good. I was in a league and stuff like that. But like, I only have been playing for the last year. But it's one of those games where I know how to do the strategy. So like, that's why I can enjoy it, because I want to learn how to play chess, but I don't understand the strategy of it yet. So I'm like, I can't be Queen's Gambit. I want to play chess. But back to the challenge. So the second part is, something that TJ says is that they're going to be canceling the lifesaver. So what do you think about this? And then what do you think about icon Jemmye stating some facts about TJ?
Yeah, I mean,
commentary again?
She basically says that if you got to pay attention when TJ is vague with his words because some shit's about to pop off.
Yeah.
It was so clear to me in that moment that it was going to be a double elimination. I didn't know how it was going to work out. I didn't know it was going to be teams or what. I didn't think it was going to be that. But I just thought, you know, if there's no lifesaver for women, it's definitely going to be some sort of double. We know there's going to be a twist coming. For him to say anything different, which is smart for Jemmye to catch on to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I wrote purge. I'm like, is there going to be a purge? That's what I was thinking. I was like, they're going to get rid of more people. People are not going to be safe by that lifesaver. So that's kind of what I was thinking too. We're all thinking. I see you also talking about Big Brother, great podcast and streams. Thank you, Pyro Jennifer. We love reality TV over here. So thanks for supporting. Maybe Arissa yelled at TJ, but they edited it out. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if she was going out hot.
Maybe they edited lots of out of it. I don't know, but it was a pretty perfect monologue. What they chose to show was just perfect.
Perfect. So after they solve the puzzle, then they're going to be running and carrying a log. Right, that's a super heavy log for like I didn't really say how long the distance was going to be. If I'm not mistaken. No. To another puzzle type thing. So kind of a memory puzzle where they had to put different colors of the challenge logo on a big board. It was quite a big board and pretty easy to get wrong because all the colors are kind of similar. And then after they do that part of the challenge in pairs. And then once they're finished, they get checked correctly. They're going to run the rest solo to the finish line. So great challenge. It shows people where people are, which I think is going to be really important when we learn about the twist later on in the episode, to be able to kind of suss out your competition at this point and who might be able to help you or who you might be willing to throw into something. Depending on what your strategy is going to be. So I loved it. The teams were Copper was Big Easy, Katie, Ruthie, Darrell, Anissa, and Mark. Gold, Kendall, Derek, Hisela, Latarian, Kellyanne, and Nehemiah. And the silver was Cyrus, Yes, Jemmye, Janae, Beth, and Alton. And like you said, the silver team, they were in the back pretty much from the beginning, from Yes not being able to solve their puzzle really quickly. And then the surprise of the episode was Alton gassing out when they were carrying the log. That was shocking how much he gassed out. Like he was like, break. And I was like, oh my God, is he going to be okay? Like it was shocking.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. And I don't know. It just made me think, I think that he is very well-rounded and like is a contender to win. But at the same time, if he doesn't have that endurance while carrying something heavy or whatever it was that he couldn't do, like, then I don't know. I mean, he's obviously good at climbing. He's good at like general stuff, but maybe he's not going to be good at a final. I don't know. It was kind of a weird thing. Like, I'm like, you're not digging deep. It was confusing.
Yeah, that was absolutely shocking. I was like, what does this mean?
So what I learned on the after show, and I don't know how much relevancy or validity it has, but apparently the shoes that he was wearing were too small. And so we do know that, like, if you want to be doing running or whatnot, certain shoes are going to be better for you to be able to last longer distances. So apparently that he was saying that his shoes were too small, and it allowed him to gas out because it's obviously redistributing energy and it's not allowing you to maximize your steps effectively. And so this is what he said. And then we do notice when we're having that moment with Alton and Hisela, she's massaging his feet. And so I was like, when I look back after, I was like, well, maybe these foot massages is because he's wearing shoes that were too small. He's like, I wish I was running that in my boots, because if I was running that in my boots, I wouldn't have gassed out. It was because he was wearing shoes that were too small. Apparently.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I hope he wears the right shoes if he makes it to the final. So
I don't.
What?
Because of the draft.
Oh,
right.
I was like, what? I mean, I don't know. My draft, well, it looks decent, but like, I'm still really scared.
I screwed up so badly once again, and I'm just really upset.
I mean, you're not looking so hot, really.
No.
If
I'm not going to win. Michelle is going to win again.
What? No, not who?
Are you out of your mind, Michelle?
Do I have Alton?
You have
you do have Alton,
Laterrian, and Mark. How that happened, I don't recall.
I mean, I have Darrell and Nehemiah.
Yeah, like, I mean, none of us expected Laterrian to be as good as he is. Honestly, he's surprising me. I expected him to be like lower than Cyrus, sort of like maybe you're too old, like you have the talk, but can you back it up? And so far, time and time again, he's just impressing us. So I think he was a lower pick for us, which is why I got him. But hey.
Well, do you know what? Like, even I made another draft, and he wasn't even drafted, Laterrian. Like, he wasn't drafted. And on the other draft that I'm in, I drafted him, I think, like my second to last guy. So we weren't expecting him to do well because he was the popcorn muscle guy. Like, he never really did that well. And it was a long time ago, and he's a lot older. Like, we weren't really expecting him to be able to do that well. So, and we hadn't seen him in a while to know what he's capable of. Absolutely. So that's where you got him. Okay. Like, Michelle, whatever. Hi, Nicole. No problem. We kind of I guess it's been a half an hour, but it feels like we just got started. Random question. Why Team Copper? Why not just bronze? Makes me laugh every time. Yeah, it's
gold, silver, and copper. It's weird, but we accept.
I never really thought about it. Because didn't they have more like metallic colors for another competition before? I can't remember.
There might have been a fourth. Maybe there was bronze and copper, which would be weird because they look the same.
It was 4 teams.
There were 4 teams at one point, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
But wasn't one team black? I don't know. I can't remember. I feel like there was more than one team, and they copper and gold and bronze were both there, but I don't actually remember. I can't remember. It was like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, the math equation, silver team didn't do too well. But what the phrases were the game never stops, the past is haunting, and your past never dies. So these were the phrases that they had to figure out. And Big Easy, for some reason, I think it was Darrell probably that made the Wheel of Fortune comment about him. Is like, he's probably been studying Wheel of Fortune because he just like figured that out like with barely any letters. So I thought that was kind of funny. What else? Okay, yeah, Gisela though. Gisela didn't really have a good showing here either. I felt that she was gassing out a lot. And it's worrisome to me because of what's going to be happening, later on with like all these double eliminations now. What are you guys thinking about Gisela and her longevity in the game?
I mean, I think that she has potential for longevity because she has a lot of connections, a lot of different types of connections and friendships and more and blah, blah, blah. And she is smart. So there's things she can win. And in an elimination situation, as long as it's not about endurance, I see that there's a potential for her to win. Even a pole wrestle, even whatever, depending on who it's against, she is sturdy and I could see her winning. If she makes it to the final, I'm stressed for her.
Yeah, if she makes it to the final, and Kendall and Kellyanne are still there.
Oh, yeah, she's not. This
yeah.
That's gonna be they're tricky contenders. Because who said in this comp, they were like Kendall is I think it was Laterrian, was it? Like Kendall is a beast.
Yeah.
And she is. Oh my God. I regret not picking her so bad.
Me too.
She's she's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, she's really hard to beat.
I have Kellyanne and Kendall.
Like you're stacked for the girls and Michelle stacked for the guys.
Yeah, true.
And I'm in the trenches.
You got Derek.
Well, hopefully you get more hookups and more fights.
Yeah.
You get lots of Gisela points.
More points, as we know.
Unless they go out too early and you don't get to rake in your points. Yes, Norma, you're right. They did it was silver and gray. That makes sense to me. And I do remember having black on one of those teams. Absolutely. Okay. Hi, Sam. Sam has a good point here. So the winner should be male and female. 100%. As we saw in this challenge, men typically have an advantage, which is unfair for the women in the final. 100%. There usually are equalizers. There's has been challenges like the one that Maria won that was everybody, and she was still able to come out on top. And even Jenny did come out on top against Johnny Bananas. But like, there needs to be a little bit more fairness there, I think, as well, because it's a lot easier for a man to win those finals because they just have a longer endurance, longer legs. They can just last those type of things longer. So I agree. We should send up a change.org. I think Kendall, though, is annoyed with Gisela. And so I'm wondering if this is going to be a running theme because Gisela was two episodes in a row. She's just like, Kendall, I hate Kendall. Like, she doesn't really like her. And so it seems like maybe now Kendall's barking back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this is where we see Elton just leaning on Beth and like, why is he like holding on to Beth? Poor thing, poor Beth. Like,
I love Beth. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, what are you doing? I'm 50. Stop.
Break. So I didn't really write down who the pairs are, but all I wrote down is that Laterrian grabbed Kendall. Like, that's who he wanted to, do this part of the mini final with. But we don't really know if Kendall's going to be good at those puzzle type things. So I'm surprised that because he didn't really need the partner for anything other than that puzzle. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Maybe misunderstood.
No, but she's a beast in she's good at puzzles. Isn't that the thing?
I don't know for sure.
Puzzles. Well, she did well.
I feel like Kendall might win this. Like, if it's like male, female, I feel like Kendall will win. Like, that's after this episode, I was like, yeesh.
Yeah, but consider how there's going to be way more eliminations now. So she's probably going to get thrown in again. And if she's against someone who is of larger stature than her, and it is a more on one-on-one combat situation, then I can see her getting taken out. But if it's anything else, I agree with you. She's 100% in for the win. Like, yeah.
You want to make a side bet? Is that something you're wanting to do?
I thought Elsa was having a full-on asthma attack. Glad it was just small shoes. I know it was.
I've never heard that in my life.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Sounds like it's a joke. Like, yeah, that was my shoes were too small. Like, that old adage.
Like, why do you have shoes that aren't your size?
I don't know. Maybe it's like what they gave them. Like maybe they provide them with like their gear, and so maybe the size is too small. Maybe I don't know. But
my new excuse moving forward.
Yes, I think that he'll have that fixed if that was like really the cause. So Nicole says, I also think that Yes might have been taking his time with those simple addition problems on purpose since everyone knows he's good at them, trying not to really have everyone focus on that all the time. But like, it's a guy's elimination day.
It's a guy's elimination, and Yes's attitude is usually pretty like, I gotta win. Like, I feel like he's pretty like genuine with his stuff. He's not like someone who would pull that. At the same time, could be. I don't know what it was. It was weird.
I do also love that Kellyanne is really hating on Kendall. Like, she's like, first, like last episode, she's talking about, like we're always putting the same team together and like we're like both like going to be looked at fierce competitors. And then now Kellyanne's like, wait, I don't want her to take off ahead of me. Like, I don't want her to be the number one girl. So I thought it was this little rivalry that Kendall doesn't probably even know is happening. I'm living for it.
It's interesting because Kellyanne was like, she was like, this is what I've been saying from the beginning. Like, we have to keep, like, I have to keep our eyes out on, like, Kendall. And, like, really, I guess she was kind of the only person, like, especially with the girls that was saying that.
And so her prophecy is coming true here. So basically, winning is Laterrian. He gets there first. Second up actually is Derek ends up getting there second. And then Kendall. And then I think it was Kellyanne. And then I think it was Jemmye, I think is what the order was. didn't write them all down.
It
But
was
Jemmye, that was pretty impressive that she was able to be on that last team with Cyrus and with Alton gassing out and was able to get to the puzzle and do that run pretty quickly. So it shows to me that Jemmye's here to win and that she's been training.
Mhm.
She's
Agreed.
definitely behind. So go Jemmye.
Proud of her.
But were you proud of Cyrus and Beth at the puzzle
I
after?
felt so sad for them that whole time. I was just because we knew it was going to happen. Like it seemed already like this is what was going to happen. I felt really sad for them. It's hard because Cyrus, you could tell that he just like needs a win, which is frustrating because like he has a good life, everything's good, but he still like can't get over the things that have happened to him in this game and how he's gone out in the past more than once even too, because there's a time where he lost the pole wrestle to Derek, which was a huge upset for him. So yeah, you can just tell he has this chip on his shoulder, like you just want him to do well. And so yeah, it was sad.
It was sad. They timed out, and so Cyrus is going to be going directly into elimination. And at that point, I wrote down, I don't know if it was a confessional or what. I'm like, is he going to choose Alton? Because he was starting to be like super pissed at Alton and kind of blaming Alton for this loss.
Ridiculous.
And, you know, when they get
Same.
go ahead.
That was ridiculous. That whole, I know you're getting into it right now,
Go
so
ahead.
I'll let you say it first. But
No,
just,
go ahead.
you know, what we lead into after this, he loses. Okay, he's going to elimination. He immediately is like, I want to go against Alton. And like, why in the hell would you want to go into elimination against the person that everyone is scared of? Because, well, not scared of, but everyone thinks is a strong player. Like, in an elimination, why would you want to go against Alton, who's so well-rounded, when you could go against someone like Big Easy, which you could have had the votes if you had said that that's what you wanted. Maybe you wouldn't have gotten everyone because Big Easy does have connections, you know? Sorry, go
I have
ahead.
a theory. This is the theory that I was going to say from the beginning, which I think it might be the same theory as Fanta. And that is that he wanted to go out with honor. Because the last time that he lost, like the last times that he's lost eliminations, he felt humiliated or he needs to have some redemption. And if he's going to in and he has this hurt ankle, he's most likely not going to win against anybody, depending on what it is. He wants to at least say, I went up against a beast because I wasn't scared. And the only reason why I didn't win was because my ankle was bad. And it wasn't because he sucked. I think it was pride.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like a mix of kind of what both of you are saying. But yes, pride is a huge thing. I think that if it really was 100% that reason, I think that he should have been like, I'm going for the top, instead of muddling it with this whole like he held us back and like blah 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 that stuff, because it was like, how do you blame him for that? That makes no sense. Even Jemmye was saying in deliberation, like, Alton was on our team and we finished third. So, like, that's on you. Like, it's your fault that you didn't finish the puzzle.
Exactly. And from especially the female's perspective, I was thinking about this too during that deliberation, is that Jemmye has made it clear she doesn't want Big Easy in the game because she doesn't want to have to be partnered with him as it goes through. And as a female, you're going to have to work with males, probably even in the final. And why would you want to take out someone like Alton as a female? All the females should be trying to take out somebody that they don't want to run the final with. But because they have all these friendships and bonds and this and that, like Katie's super close with Easy, all this stuff, it just muddles everything and this is what used to happen before with Easy. How he'd make it too far because people didn't want to like upset him, or they have friendships and he's a big dude. But like, come on, when we get to this elimination, that would have been a no-brainer win. Even if Cyrus had to go super slowly and crawl over it, unless you're right, Easy would pick someone who would climb. But like, it just depends. Like, I don't know. It would just given him more of a shot, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I mean, with the nature of the actual elimination, he would probably pick, say even Katie, and be like, "Hey, Katie, I'll toss you up there, and I'll break through the wall, and you throw the ball over." So he would have potentially still have won that particular elimination. But I 100% agree that it was only as my Joe over here is saying, it's Cyrus's ego that got him eliminated. And I do think that he didn't want to be eliminated by somebody that wasn't respected. I think that if he was going to go out, he wanted to go out with his head held high and with honor. You know, he failed with honor, as opposed to like you know, TJ saying things like, you went up against a beast. You know, he wants to say that like, oh, you lost against the layup. You know what I mean? I think that that's what he was avoiding happening. So
Totally.
it was, Mark delivers the message though that Cyrus wants to have Alton, and pretty much everybody.
Like an eye roll at that. I'm kind of annoyed at Mark right now.
Why? I mean, I don't care, but like, why?
I was like, oh, Mark, stop. Like, I don't know. I totally rolled my eyes at that. I was like,
what I rolled my eyes at more than that was the burning of votes.
Oh.
Why? By you, Derek, and who voted for Derek?
Was it Nehemiah?
Yeah. They did.
No.
It was someone who voted for Derek and he was like, fuck you, and voted for him back.
I know.
And
I don't write it down.
it's just so stupid because why? Like, if you're burning a vote, that means you are against. Like, you're not helping the person that goes in. Like, you're not helping Alton and you're not helping Easy because you're not putting a vote there. So if you're actually close with any party and you don't want to make anyone mad, like, you need to throw your vote to one of those two. And if you're just burning your vote, like, I don't know, that annoys me.
But people called them out. I couldn't really discern who it was, but they were like, don't do that. And
no, it's probably Jemmy.
It was Jemmy. Yeah.
I said probably Jemmy, but like, I don't know for sure.
But yeah. We're a no burn vote.
Exactly.
Burn votes. It's just pointless.
Same with Disney Crazy. Hate burn votes. We hate it. Disney Crazy. Do you know who was the other person that burned their vote? It was Nehemiah? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Nehemiah to Derek, and then Derek's like, fuck you.
Well,
Nehemiah.
It's kind of like, you're not actually helping your person here. You know, like, to me, that says that you don't want to say either their names because you're trying to play some sort of political game and then pretend like you're just going to burn your vote on each other. But like, no, yeah. I want to see what your decision is here, Derek. Are you going to give Cyrus what he wants, or are you going to like vote, like, or are you going to give Alton what he wants? Like, let me see your decision here. I want to see your decision. And I don't know if you guys, go ahead.
That's how Derek plays.
Yeah.
Derek has always played that way. He's never ever been like, okay, like, I'm going to pick this side and do that. Like, he's always just been like, oh, I'll just kind of play the middle until the absolute end. And then
it's so annoying.
I'll finally pick a side. But even like with Darrell, who you would think would like not, but he was like, the way that he voted for Alton, and he was just like, hey man, and like grabbed his shoulders and he's like, I know you'll kill it, and like that sort of thing. I'm like, that's a good strategic way of doing it. There's a lot of different strategic ways of voting and like making it seem light so that it's not really something that people like really remember or like really like hold on to and resent you for.
Yeah, like I'd be more pissed at the person that didn't vote the way that I wanted to. Like, I'd be like, well, you didn't fucking help me stay out of here.
Oh yeah, then you'd be like, because now, of course, you know, Jemmy's like, okay, you burned a vote. Like, she's probably got a little fucking notebook.
Like, burn list for burn votes.
Volunteer themselves like this person burned a vote. Blah 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 blah. Everything.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? So after Alton gets 8 votes, so he knows that everybody wants him out of the house. Like, he is probably the strongest physical competitor. People are the most scared of him because of is able to climb and just do some things that aren't naturally, everybody's not naturally good at. So they're walking back to the house and he's kind of arm over Hisella's shoulder. And he's like to Cyrus, who's sitting on the porch with Laterrian, being like, yeah, it's me. And so Cyrus like gets up to like give him like a handshake, and he doesn't even look at him. He just like walks straight in and completely disses him. What did you think about that moment? And then what do you think about Laterrian kind of thinking that's poor gamesmanship?
Okay, so we're all in agreement that Alton totally saw that and like fully dissed them. I don't know. I feel like if I were in Alton's position, I would be pissed too. Like, because that whole scene we didn't really talk about, but like, Cyrus is like icing his like foot, and he's just like, yeah, like it's gonna be you and me. And then Alton's like, well, why? Like, I wouldn't vote for myself. And then Cyrus is like, no, like this is the way it's got to be. And like he was kind of being a dick to Alton. So like he can't really expect like later when he's like, okay, like after I've basically turned the whole house to vote against you, like let's shake hands now. If I were in that position, I'd be like, fuck you, dude. Like you kind of threw me under the bus. Like this isn't about like honor and everything. And then like Laterrian being his hype man or whatever. I was like, shut up.
Yeah. I mean, you laid out pretty
getting
clearly.
ready. Leave him alone.
Well, like, yeah, no, you're totally right. In that moment, I remember Alton was saying something like, I wouldn't let you do that. Like, he didn't want him to do that because he was like, he knows that he will beat him. And so I totally agree with you. Like, he feels betrayed at this point by Cyrus, for Cyrus wanting to like go against him for whatever reason. Alton knows he's going to win, but it's like he's also toying with his opportunity. Like it could be a fluke that he goes home. Like why didn't he want to protect their friendship or whatnot and choose somebody else? And also I wouldn't be surprised as there's only a few men of color that are invited to be playing these shows. Like, what? We're going to go against each other? Like, no, we're trying to get each other to the end. So I think that also a little bit of that brotherhood, might have been upset as well. Like, I'd be pissed if like one of the only black guys in the house was voting me in when there's so many other people to choose from. I don't know. I'd be annoyed, and I definitely wouldn't be shaking his hand. I would be like, I'm probably never talking to you again. Like, not until for a while. I'd be pissed.
All of it was so ill-advised.
Totally.
Nicole thinks that Laterrian was a touch aggressive. Like, calm down, sir. Yeah, he kind of gets a little bit excited about like stuff, like getting hyped about that. Like, he doesn't need to shake his hand. I don't know. I'm giving him the middle finger. I'd be pissed. So, club scene, Phantom, good vibrations, sweet sensations. I'm like just loving the music. So that song, I remember I did like a dance, I think it was in like grade 5 too, like good vibrations. So it was very, very reminiscent. But club time, we see Gisela and Alton vibing. So, Fanta, this is your jurisdiction. Tell me about the club night.
Oh my God, I don't even remember because I was trying to figure out what they were all drinking. And then I was like, okay, Katie's drinking wine. Why is he drinking orange juice?
Who was?
Mark and Easy drinking orange juice or something. I don't really remember that. Sorry, that's my only job.
Well, the only thing that I wrote down about it was when Gisela and Alton were talking. I've never seen a bigger smile on his face. Like it was like he couldn't smile any bigger. How big he was smiling, and it was like he looked like he was 6 years old, and it was just so endearing seeing him so smiling and happy, just hanging out with her. So.
Yeah. I love this like hookup. It's so unexpected.
It's great.
It's unexpected and beautiful. I'm obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
It's like they have like just like this really special chemistry. It's really nice.
Yeah. What I was thinking about it is that like I kind of think it's like a soulmate thing, like a destiny thing. Because a lot of spiritual people say that you sometimes cross paths with like your special person, and it's not until you are in the right place to be able to actually see them. And so the fact that they were on a previous challenge together, but they couldn't even see each other, and it's like they had to live all this life before they were able to be visible in each other's eyes. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so romantic. Please get married. They have to get married, or be together forever, because it just makes my dreams come true.
Start a change.org.
That's our what we do for everything is change.org. Change.org. So Mark and Cyrus talking about his Alton, and like Mark is kind of hyping him up about facing Alton, and I'm just like, Mark, I don't think that you need to be hyping him up here because you're gonna lose.
See? This is why I'm annoyed with Mark and have been rolling my eyes at him this whole episode. Like,
Hey, Fanta, he's a 50-year-old white male who literally, like, he put this whole thing together. He is just trying so hard to be like,
Make sure
you're
it's
an old guy
good.
like me. Make sure everyone feels as good as possible. And is he doing too much? Is he being extra? Absolutely. Do we expect anything less of Mark? No, Mark has always been this way. He has always been this way. So we cannot deny him what
You're
is
right.
Who he
simply his, you know?
you're right.
And this is also his baby. And
And
so
it's his baby. But
I
yes,
mean,
annoying,
I
of
love
course.
Mark, we would not be sitting here right
We
now.
would not be sitting here without
if it weren't for Mark. But
Yeah.
that's how I felt. Deny it.
it was a Kool-Aid grin. He was so cute. Oh. Yeah, so we wouldn't be here without Mark. Mark is the godfather for a reason, that he had enough like MTV capital to be able to pull this together. And I think that he doesn't know how well it's being going to be received. He doesn't know if it's going to be great. So I think he, like you're saying, both of you, that like he wants people to feel good and be having a good time on this challenge, because like he got these old people out of their cushy lives, like not on the challenge. And like, I think that he just doesn't want them to not have had a great experience, even if they're going home. He has bum ankle. Like he wanted to go against Alton. Let me hype him up and like, let's just like make him happy with this decision, you know, not being like, oh yeah, I mean, you wanted it, but like bad choice. Like he's not going to say that. He should have though. So, this is, we see the hookup points. We don't see what happens underneath the covers, but she's massaging his feet. She's talking about like, this is after the club. I'm not supposed to like you or whatnot. And I'm just super standing this relationship. I love it. And then we're at the what is it? The crater? No, it's the arena. We're at the arena and Cyrus goes down. He said there's no lifesavers anymore. So that means that your partner is also not safe from this point forward. It's going to be a double elimination. And so the house have chosen Alton. So Alton now gets to choose out of any of those bitches that just voted him in to go be his partner, to go defend their position in the game. So what did you guys think of the twist? And who did you guys think that Alton was going to choose?
I love this twist.
Me too.
I love it.
It's delicious.
I loved it too.
Who did you think he was gonna?
At first I went, okay, he's not going to pick Gisela because obviously he doesn't want to put her in that position. I thought he's either going to pick, I actually thought Anissa, because I was like, well, she's someone that he's kind of close with, but I don't think it's like number one. And as they were panning, she was the one person who looked ready to do an elimination. I don't know if you noticed, but like she was in her coat and she was looking serious. She wasn't wearing pink leggings and whatever the hell else everyone else is wearing. She looked the most like in the zone. So that's why I thought maybe Katie, like, I don't know, maybe Kendall. Like I wasn't sure what direction he was going to go in, but I knew he wasn't going to pick Gisela, obviously.
Yeah. Kendall though, right?
No, because Kendall was the female winner. So she was, exempt.
Oh yeah, she was safe anyway, so she couldn't have gone in.
Yeah, I was thinking Anissa too.
I was thinking actually like, well, Kendall was my first thought, but like, yeah, she couldn't be picked because I was like, oh, like he wouldn't necessarily care if she was there, but she'd probably be a good competitor. So like it wouldn't have been upsetting too many people to be asking her to go down and defend their space in the house. So, Fanta, we're not allowed to be annoyed with Mark. Look at the gift that he's given us.
I'm sorry.
What are we, what is it? Biting the gift horse in the mouth? Or I don't know the saying, something like that. Okay, so Alton does choose Anissa. And at first she's like, oh, God. Like, she seemed a little bit upset by it. But we learned that the challenge is called Over and Under. And it's similar to what Beth would have done against Arissa, but they put in a second player element. So one person is going to have to crash through these. Well, they have to pull apart the cinder blocks first. And then the other one person's going to have to crash through the blocks. I don't know, some like breakaway wood or something. And the other person has to climb up and over and throw down a medicine ball. And they have to keep on doing this. How many were there? 5 or 3?
There were 4.
Oh.
There you go. 4.
4 that
times.
they had to do 5 times.
5 times. And so, yeah, they had 5 balls that they needed to rotate through to the end. So Aneesa just like plowing through, and Elton, we know that he is Spider-Man, so he's like up and over, medicine ball, throw. Like, they didn't seem to have any trouble with it at all. I think they didn't have to be super fast paced because Elton and Beth were having a lot of trouble. Like, Beth was fine with her breaking through the wood, but Cyrus couldn't get up and over, and when he was coming down, he was really falling on his ankle, and it was painful to watch.
Could it have been a worse challenge, like elimination for his current condition? Like, literally,
and who he chooses to go against,
and who to choose to go against that to Alton. It's climbing, and you have to jump down. You're 50 years old, and your ankle's bumped. Like, every time he fell, like, I actually was so scared for him. I was like, just stop. But obviously, I really was appreciating that he never quit. He gave it his all. He is a true challenger in that way. I will always give him that. You know what I mean? Like, even if his attitude can be sour sometimes, like, he really went for it. But it was hard to watch. Like, and if only he had a partner like Kellyanne or Kendall, he could have lifted them over, maybe done this with his hand. They could have jumped over. Like, there would have been more of a possibility. With Beth, it just wasn't possible. And like, yeah, I just felt bad. It was just kind of sad to watch.
Yeah, it was hard to watch, especially the part where like Beth like gets down, like so that
and she's like, he like stepped on her back,
on her back, and everyone is like, oh. Yeah, that was
bad. It was bad. We knew, though, that Alton was going to win, but Elton and Aneesa definitely took this one. And one thing I did want to mention, though, is that they both had confessionals. And the one confessional that really stood out was what Alton was saying, why he chose Aneesa. He's like, I just looked up and I saw her face, and I knew that she's like obviously a beast in these eliminations, but then she's also like a friend, and like she would want to like do this for me. And I was like, oh God, you guys are so sweet. She even got teary-eyed. I was like, I love you guys. Oh my God, hold on. So hi, Norma. And Norma's saying that she had a broken ankle before. I felt the pain when Cyrus jumped off the top that first time. I mean, I've never broken anything before, but I can imagine the pain, because one time I had like an inflamed, like, it wasn't my sciatic, but it was one of those kind of joints, and like I couldn't walk, and like it was actually kind of I can't even really think about how bad that pain was. It was so bad that it would make me throw up. So I can imagine though what that kind of pain was. Whew.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So yeah, I was like, yikes, his ankle. This is so brutal. Those are my comments.
Yeah, it was just brutal. But happy for Alton, like as much as, you know, I'm sad for Cyrus and Beth. Of course, I'm sad. I lost Beth from my team, and I like them on the show and everything. At the same time, yeah, I want Alton and Aneesa to still be there. Like and you know, there's going to be a lot of eliminations now because, you know, there's only a couple episodes left, and there's not, you know, so it's got to happen. And at the end of the day, I want Alton there because I want strong people there, and I want to see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Me too. One thing I learned on the after show is that this elimination was on Beth's birthday, and she's Aquarius. Her birthday's February 14th, and she's exactly 10 years older than me.
Wow.
That's what I learned, that she got eliminated on her birthday.
It was it was so funny how at the end Cyrus was just going off, and he's like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get my redemption and all of that stuff. And Beth is just like, well, I had a good time.
It was so great.
Like, Mom, like I had a good time.
I had a good time. It was great. That was such a fun reunion. That was good. Like, so like earnest. So TJ though does say to Cyrus that like he knows that he's going to see them back again, which gives me hope that there's going to be a season 2.
Love that. Yes.
Definitely.
Give us another season.
Yes. Like, I would rather wait a full year to have season 37 and have another one of these. Like, I can have one of these every 3 months. And like once a year for the regular season. That would be kind of ideal, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I think
Definitely.
so. And he comments also on Anissa's 11 wins, 11 losses. So do you think that the Challenge All-Star stats also stack up against the main challenge stats?
Well,
Like
it's just how you see stats differently and stuff. Like, yeah, like that's a 50% success rate, which isn't awesome. But if you consider how many she's been in, like that's a way better score than Nany and like a lot of people actually, you know. She's been in a lot and she's done a lot, and the experience holds true. Darrell has a great score as well. Mark has a pretty good. There's a lot of good scorers.
But
out there.
do you think, because somebody that I was talking to was saying like they don't necessarily think that the stats they should be standalone stats. So she's 1-0 for All-Star stats, and like would it be something that you would want to bring in the Champs versus Pros? Those stats, do they get fed in the people that won that? And so that's what they were kind of arguing, is like whether or not it should be considered a Challenge Mania stat, or if it's just All-Stars. But
Yeah,
I said, like, I don't care. That the elimination that she won would be a good elimination against anybody.
All the challenges and all the dailies are the same level as the ones that the people are currently doing, like for the most part. And I don't know, I would consider it the same as any win. I mean, if we're considering older wins that were different and easier and harder in other ways, every challenge is different. So you can say, oh, this challenge was easier to win than that one, for sure. But at the end of the day, you're champion.
That's true.
Except for Zach, he's not a champion, even though he's won.
Also, people were saying, and I totally agree, that it must have been a really nice feeling for Anissa to have Alton choose for her to compete with them, when Fessy, the entire season, for 5 months, she had him like trying to get rid of her and throwing challenges so he wouldn't have her as a partner. And he looked up out of all those people and wanted her to be by his side. And so I hope that felt really good for Anissa that she was picked first. You know, she was the draft pick.
For sure.
So let's take a look-see at these pointeroos. One thing I counted it last week, but I meant to ask you guys what you thought, was with like the Nehemiah and Jemmye from like episode 2 or whatever, was that considered a hookup when they were like alluded to sleeping in the bed together? Well, they did sleep in the bed together, but they alluded to doing.
I think we didn't consider that one yet because they haven't actually hooked up, and this is what he's just cuddling. But I think Gisela and Alton definitely each deserve 5 points because we saw them fucking under the blanket. Like that's a no-brainer. And then we get challenge win, I think, goes to Laterrian and Kendall because it is guy and girl top, even though Derek did better. And then obviously 10 points to Alton and 10 points to Anissa. Who has Anissa?
Fanta.
Okay, that's one.
Patronize me.
Okay, so let me just like make this clear. So
got some points.
For 10. So yeah, so then I'll be less because I had like a light thing for Jemmye and thing, but I added them when I said my score.
Like, I think let's wait and see how this goes. Like, I will consider adding points for them for sure. I'm not opposed to it, but they didn't actually hook up. And knowing Nehemiah, I don't think anything's happened with them yet. I think they've just cuddled until we see other things.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, okay, so where are we at? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. So 50 instead. Okay. 50 right now. Banta, you have 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35. 35?
What's my 35? I have 30 here. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. 20.
I have that you have 5 for Derek. You have 20 for Anissa, 5 for Yes, 5 for Cyrus, and a plus and minus 5 for Arissa. Arissa, sorry.
Arissa, yeah. Okay. 20, 25, 35. You said 35?
Now I'm messing up. Math champion. Whoops. 25, 30, 35.
Okay.
What do you think you have? 30?
Just take the 35, Queen.
Yeah,
Take the
What do you think
35.
you have? But what do you think you have though? I like.
35 here.
Oh, okay. So what's the problem?
No problem.
No problemo. And then Michelle, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 45. Yes, I'm still in the head. Yes. Oh, Disney did not want to see Beth and Cyrus go. I hope they come back. I mean, I don't know if Beth will come back. Maybe just for like some of the good times. She doesn't expect to win now for sure. She'll probably be like, why do you guys don't want to see me on there anymore? But I'm sure she could be easily coaxed. It's not that big of a commitment, as we've talked about. Hi, Dolores. And he says the best at eliminations, plus she knows her trivia. I see her in the finals. What do you think? I can see her getting to the finals. She has a good political game.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about though how this new twist might shake things up. Like, what do you think the new strategy is going to be that evolves? Because say so-and-so goes down and the two, they're going to be the two weakest teams. And that the person that you vote in, they're going to be then choosing somebody from the opposite sex to partner with them. So do you think that they're going to be going like Kendall, do you think Kendall's always going to be going in now because like people think that she's the strongest girl and so they're going to want to be working with her? Like, who do you think are going to be always going in and helping people defend their spot in the house? Or do you think there's going to be a completely different strategy than that?
I don't know. It's going to be tricky, but I do have a feeling that Kendall's going to be going in often if she doesn't win, to be honest.
I see her going in a lot.
It should be considered. Thank you, Dolores. Cuddling is hooking up, in my opinion, working for you girls. Thank you. Well, okay, so I'm going to agree with Michelle that like we haven't seen anything for sure yet. And if something more happens, then we will write it down for sure. And then at the end, if nothing maybe more significant happened, like showmance, like kind of seasonal.
You'll still get
canoodle will be added at the end. But yeah, we'll hold off until we decide what they are.
Yeah,
decide their status.
Totally.
Side note, I'm very much enjoying Fanta's construction paper booklet for points. Very 80s art class. I'm 10. I love it too.
I think I've actually had this for like a decade or something.
It's so good.
It's my favorite.
Nehemiah said on Reality NSFW that nothing happened with Jemmy, but he had a smirk on his face.
We'll see.
Well, we probably won't see. Okay, so we don't really expect, well, we'll see what happens with this new twist. I'm loving it. I want them to bring this new twist to the new season, the regular season. Like, I want people that suck to be going in no matter what. That their political game can't stop them from sucking. So, because Fessy's not always on top, you know what I mean? So, like, he might have to go in, even though, like, he has his Big Brother Alliance numbers. Love it. And I love that they have to throw people in after that, and it works for me. It works big time.
I agree.
And yeah, I would love to see more of everything on the show. So love it. So do you guys in the chat have any tea that you want to share with us? It's not spoilers, but any tea that you guys know about before we close things off? You guys, any tea?
I don't have any tea, but yeah, it's been such an enjoyable season, and I just can't wait for it week to week. It's such a great time.
Such a highlight. Such a highlight.
Loving it.
Well, I love you guys. I'll do the usual rant here at the end. Subscribe to Reality Realness with 3 S's. If you do so, send a screenshot and to realityrealness@gmail.com, and I will enter you in a draw. So when we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll send you a $100 Amazon gift card. If you're in Canada, you can get some cold hard cash. Shoot, I forgot. I need to send Michelle some cash. Gotta get your email. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do it already?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Oh,
yeah, Fanta already sent me money.
Sorry. Okay, I'll do it right now. Love you guys.
It's not a worry at all.
All right. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.